Hello, everyone. Today we're starting a new one, The Whole of Our Hearts. So, a quick story before we get into it. I was at Further Confusion 5 months ago now, and I went to the VN panel, and I met some people from the space. Uh, one of them being the writer of this, Crimson Flare, and one of the artists, Jango, as well as Bandana Dog, Thyne, and Phwog. And we hung out for a bit, and we watched Punch Punch Forever and read one of their other VN's Sex Wish No No and a little bit of this. So I've seen the first bit of this, but that was a great night, and it was definitely a highlight of the con for me. So thanks y'all for inviting me to hang out. It was good times. So now I'm actually going to get into this one after 5 months. I meant to get into it sooner, but I've been so inconsistent. So I got there. Okay, I got there. So anyway, let's get into it. Friday, December 18th, 2019. We were 6 hours into our trek back home, driving along the winding mountainside. Our radio struggled to find a station ever since we got out into the forested area. Coverage was always spotty out here. At this point, Arthur gave up on fiddling with the radio and began digging around my car. I'm still mad you lost my aux. I mean, it has to be somewhere in here. I never took it out. The lion gave an annoyed huff. He began feeling around at the seat, digging through the center console, turning to check behind him, struggling against his seatbelt to no avail. Eventually, he gave up and just undid it. Moments later, I had a tufted tail swishing in my face. His body draped over the center as he continued digging. Sounds of ruffling bags came from behind, followed by the donk of his baritone sax falling on him. Can you just wait for me to pull over? Muffled sounds of annoyance come from behind my chair. The lion braced himself against the passenger window, smudging it. The wrappers and fast food bags certainly weren't helping as he fumbled about. He then suddenly turned to the other side, feet now resting against my face. I tried to push them away, but it doesn't take long for Arthur to roll back over, a gentle purr coming from him. Hell yeah! Arthur holds a small wire triumphantly in his paw. He plugs it into his phone and begins to play some instrumental music I've never heard. Arthur was always into some niche band he found on Soundscape. This time, they were some Swedish group named after our galaxy. I didn't really catch the name, nor did I entirely care. It was okay. Not really my kind of music. We continued for another half an hour in silence. The long drive had drained us of conversation. At this point, the instrumental music was nice. It had been a while since I had been able to just take in my surroundings. That golden hue filling the sky, the twilight hours slowly descending upon us, the empty highway wrapping its way through the wooded mountainside. Hey, so, can I stay at your place? Just for the night? Maybe. Why? I still haven't told my parents He pauses for a second. I don't know how they'll react. You know how my mom is. I know I'm an adult, so it's not like they can do anything about it, but... We look at each other for a moment. Arthur's leg is shaking. Paws clasped together. As our eyes met, he quickly looks out the window. I refocus my gaze on the road. I know you guys are the only ones I've come out to, but still... I need more time to think of how to tell them. I don't think pulling that Band-Aid off when I get back would be wise, since I'm so close to finishing college and they're helping with that. Plus with everything going on politically, you know. I raised my paw, cutting him off. Dude, it's cool. We'll figure something out. I think Cody got an apartment since his folks moved out to Tos. He might be able to crash there. Sorry, I'm being a... I stop him before he can spiral again. There's nothing to be sorry about. I turn off the highway, gently coasting my way down the mountainside, the sun fading over the horizon as we descend into the shadowed valley below. Carthage was never a hotspot. A small place nestled deep in the mountains, the kind that most mapping sites forgot about. Some even thought we were nothing more than a paper town. I got a text from Rocco while we were at the gas station. Gonna grab him first. He still doesn't have a car? I shrug. All he said was, pick me up when you get back, so I guess not. The car was silent as we got closer to the hotel. Rocco wanted to have our, now annual, meet up at the campsite. We would have the month to spend together now that Arthur and I are on a break. However, Rocco is a full-time adult and Cody is pushing through his last year of med school. He just wanted to guarantee one last hangout with everyone. I can't blame him. It was starting to get harder to find a time to get everyone together. This break might be the only chance we get for a while. Thanks for helping me through this. Just being here means a lot. It's not like you were never there for me. I was a mess after I came out to you. Yeah, it brings me back, you know? But, like we've swapped roles. It feels like when you talked to me about having a crush on Casey. The words stabbed my heart harder than I expected. I hadn't thought about Casey the whole year. It had been 3.5 since I thought I had finally moved on. Shit, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking when I... Arthur. I wiped the small start of tears from my eyes. I knew the lion was looking at me. It's okay. We sat in silence, listening to the last of the folktronic band Arthur had pulled up. At this point, we weren't far from the hotel. I wouldn't mind getting out to stretch. Though, knowing Rocco, he would want to leave ASAP. I guess we could at Cody's. We drove into the front pickup area. Arthur and I were surprised to see the surrounding lot dotted with cars. Usually people pass through Carthage. If anyone was staying, it's to spend the night on their trip to the East Coast. It was typically 1 or 2 cars. Hell, most people just kept going the 2 hours up to Salem. Tonight, the lot had at least 10, maybe 12 cars in it. After gawking at the vehicles, we heard a tap-tap-tapping on the passenger side. Outside stood a 6'3" husky. The man's cold, white eyes peered in through the window. He was more muscular than I remember. He's wearing a white button-down with a black vest and slacks. A fancy getup he wouldn't be caught dead wearing 2 years ago. Looks nice on him. You gonna let me in, or am I riding on the roof? I jumped, unlocking the car. Rocco opened the door and scooted over to the middle seat, shoving aside the duffel bags and sax case. I like his little scoot. It's a nice little touch. Hey, sorry about that. You look good. Oh, coming on to me, gay boy. I saw you checking me out. Rocco gave me a hearty laugh while I managed a nervous chuckle. He's probably the one straight person in our group, though we still managed to have a good platonic relationship. Even if he would tease me about my gayness. Rocco leaned through the middle of our 2 seats, placing a paw on each of our shoulders. So, how's the college gang doing? I'm surviving. Gonna start student teaching next semester, so that'll be fun. Cool. Are you going over to Elwood Elementary? Nah, I know the music teacher over at Monroe's middle school. We played jazz together at a local club. He got me a position to help out a bit. Hell yeah! You're still doing that? Yeah, it's a lot easier in the college town. More people and all that jazz. Plus, we're big enough so I can drop the alto and bust out my berry. You'll have to text me next time you play. I'll have Cody take me up. We could hang out afterwards. Arthur doesn't say anything. He would never text me when he was performing. I figured he was just nervous playing for people he knew. Though every now and then, I'd catch him wandering out into the dead 5 a.m. campus. He'd sneak over near the business building and play outside for the people cramming during finals. No one ever saw him perform, so he became a campus legend. The ghost of a dead sax player cheering on the crammers of Kramers. Rocco gave my shoulder a pat. How about you? I'm almost done with my mechanical degree. Don't really know what I'm doing after that. The internships didn't pan out? I thought you had at least one lined up. They all fell through. I had a few interviews, but no callbacks. Shit, man. I'm sorry. I pull out of the parking lot, making my way to Main Street. It happens. Hey, know why there's so many cars? I guess the news hasn't gotten out of town yet. We pause. Arthur looks back at him. So, a massive sinkhole came out of nowhere around 1st and Main. It opened up like Sunday. Dead fucking center of town. It's some geologic wonder. Not so wonderful when it practically cuts us in half. Rocco points in front of me. You're gonna want to go down 5th and on Aspen. Most of Main Street and Pine are blocked off because of our new town wonder. I can still take Main to 3rd, though. I say, turning onto 5th. Taking Main down to 3rd and then hopping on Aspen would be faster. If you're fine weaving through news vans, fucking press just leaves them all over the place. They act like they own our roads. No one's talked to them about it? I got no idea. I haven't seen anyone around town. They just ditched their shit near the hole. Do we have anyone looking into it? Like a geologist or a sinkhole person? I think so. Like I said, I don't remember seeing anyone. They got shit near it, so I assume someone's looking into it. Then the hotel's gotta be busy. Nah. Still boring as hell. Why's that? No one stopped by when I'm on duty. I think the computer says we have like 7 or 8 rooms booked. Yet I haven't seen anyone come in or out. Weird, they haven't even walked in to grab something from their room? Nope. They just go out before I get there, and I guess they show up after I leave. I wonder if anyone fell into the hole when it opened up. I mean, 1st and Main is basically the town center. Rocco didn't say anything about it. Hopefully no one was hurt. Oh, what's Cody been up to? How's med school going for him? Rocco lets out a hiss through his teeth. I see him lean back into his seat through the rearview mirror, his eyes looking vacantly out into the dark wilderness. Don't bring up college with Cody. Last semester was rough for him. Cody was practically the smartest one out of all of us. Last I heard, he had a 3.6 at Sten's med school. When we talked back in October, it sounded like he was enjoying his classes. He made some new friends and was even thinking about asking someone out. What happened? Arthur's voice cracked as the words came out. I don't know all the details. I just got a call from him one night. He wouldn't stop crying. Kept saying that he fucked up, that he was dropping out. I tried talking him out of it. Rocco paused, his voice wavering as he continued. I calmed him down, and he told me what happened. That week, he was going to shadow a surgery. The doc wanted him to help out for one part, so he did. He paused, continuing to stare out the window into the cold, dark night. Something went wrong. He blamed himself. Rocco Shook his head. He clasped his paws together as if he was praying. After a bit, he said he was going to come back. Live on his own for a while. Figure shit out. I heard Arthur whisper a concerned, damn, as we both just watched the road. Whatever happened, it just fucked him up. Don't bring it up unless he does. I didn't know how to respond to that. I don't know any more than that. I don't want to talk about it anymore, so let's just avoid the topic. We sat in silence for a minute, slowly following Aspen to Cody's. I'm sorry to hear that. Not your shit to deal with. We wanted to make sure you guys could still focus on your school stuff. You shouldn't have to worry about us. You both should have told us. I could hear Rocco's claws tap on the sax case. Look, he's been giving me rides to work and I've been checking up on him daily. It's nothing you need to worry about. He's fine. Rocco whispers something, but I couldn't hear it. When we get there, are we going to stop inside? It takes a second for Rocco to respond. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can chat inside for a bit. He doesn't have much there, but we can show you around. Rocco leans forward, pointing to our exit. Rosebud Apartments. The complex is relatively small. It's a few old, two-story buildings, located on the upper outskirts of town. They cling to the sides of the mountain, encircled by a dark abyss, the land falling down into Main Street. Most of the rooms sat vacant for years. Although they were cheap, even for Carthage, the only people who rented them could barely get by. From what I know, the buildings hadn't been touched since the early 80s. Just general maintenance to keep the few people who lived there from dying. I think some of the rooms still had asbestos in them. We pulled around the corner, Rocco guiding us to the building. We're going to building 3, the one in the back of the lot. We hop out of the car, make our way up to the second floor, and approach room 203. Like everything around it, the door is old. The paint slowly chipping off, the brass numbers and peephole are tarnished, and several scratch marks litter the door. Rocco gives a firm knock. Yo, Cody, open up! No response. Rocco tries knocking again. A third time with no answer. Rocco fishes through his pocket and pulls out a small keyring. He fiddles with the lock for a second, paws shaking. I'm coming in! Rocco yells, letting himself in. Arthur and I just stand outside the door, flabbergasted. Do you normally break into his apartment? Rocco doesn't answer. He goes straight for the bathroom in the back, throws open the door, and lets out a heavy sigh. Behind him, the other door opens, revealing an exhausted-looking raccoon. He's wearing a stained short-sleeved shirt, a jacket, and a pair of unintentionally ripped jeans. Why do you always... What are you even... He stops, looking back at us, and blinks. His mood instantly changes as he recognizes Arthur and I. Sean! Arthur! What are you two doing back in town? He scampers over to us, ignoring Rocco's intrusion. First giving Arthur a hug, then one to me. He's cold, and his arms weakly wrap around me. My own meet greasy and matted fur. When we finish our hug, I catch a whiff of something smelly. I don't comment on it, but I know it's coming from him. It's hard to smile at him, though I've had a lot of practice faking it. We just got in. Didn't Rocco tell you? Oh? Oh, is that this week? Sorry, time's been molding together for me. Rocco looks around nervously, then ushers us in. Come in. Sorry about the mess. Life's been keeping me busy. I look around. Despite what he said, it's no messier than my dorm room. The little trash is neatly piled in a corner. A single couch sits nearby a cardboard box table with a small TV on top. The kitchenette on the other side seems to be clean. At least no dishes are left out. We walk in and sit on the couch. Rocco grabs some lawn chairs from a nearby closet and we settle in. We start with the same conversation we had with Rocco, catching Cody up on our lives. I try to sound like I have more to say than I really do. Thankfully, Arthur is able to keep the conversation going with his jazz stories. So, why did you move out here? Cody pauses for a moment, clearly trying to think of the right thing to say. His eyes glaze over as he shifts his gaze out the window. Med school was a lot more than I expected. I needed some time away from it. I pulled myself together for the last year. Oh, sorry, I was just curious. Cody lets out a soft chuckle. So, are we going to the campsite tonight or just hanging here? It should be good to chill there for the night. Everything was basically untouched since the last time. I went and gathered some firewood around the spot yesterday. Told those two to get some s'more stuff while they were out on the road, too. We'd always hung out there the week before school started, ever since Casey found it in the 7th grade. The night before Arthur and I left for our sophomore year of college was one of my favorites. I wish Casey could have been there. That night was when Arthur finally came out. It wasn't a surprise to me. I actually accidentally caught him in a vulnerable moment at college, and he told me everything. What was surprising was the synthetic mane he got. I remember him putting it on for the first time. He wouldn't stop stroking it. For the rest of the night, no matter what happened, he was smiling. Even if we accidentally dead-named him. By the end of the night, he was Arthur to all of us. Cody was next with the reveal. He was able to secure enough scholarships for another year of med school. It wasn't a big surprise. He was the reason I was able to pass Chem 1, but we were still proud of him. He passed around a couple of the essays he wrote. From what I remember, they were pretty good. I think one was about him making a splint for a friend who broke their leg. I didn't have any big news to share that night. I was still working on the mechanical degree. I hadn't started dating again either. It had been 2 years since, but I still couldn't open up. Not that I told them that. Rocco, on the other paw, had just broken up with a girl from Salem. He decided that he needed some time to himself. Sadly, he would get just that. Neither he nor his family had the money for college. Without scholarships, there was no way he was getting in anyways. While we all went to college, Rocco worked at the town's hotel. He didn't hate the job, but he wanted to do something more. His new goal that night was to save up money for college. He'd get a degree in social work and eventually become a therapist. None of us thought that was a good idea given his personality, but we all wished him luck. Who knows, maybe he'd be good at it. I was shaken out of my reminiscing. Arthur had got up to go to the bathroom. Rocco and Cody were talking about something. No, that is weird. Have you called the IT folk? Hank said he was talking to them. I mean, they have cars outside, so I assume someone is using the rooms. And he hasn't run into anyone there? That's what he says. Who knows? Maybe he's just been getting lucky. Weird. The two stop and look over at me. Back with us? I yawn, stretching my body out over the new vacant couch. Yeah, sorry. Driving really wore me out. I can drive us up. I think I still have some fuel left in my truck. I shake my head. No, I should be fine now. We probably need to move some stuff to the trunk, though. I don't want to go barreling down the mountain tonight. Just let Cody fucking drive. Be fine. I know he said not to ask, but I am curious. What has Cody been doing while he's taking a semester off? I don't know if I caught it, but what have you been doing, Cody? The raccoon tenses a bit, like before. I get another look from Rocco, but I am curious. I work part-time at the gas station. They don't have enough hours to give me a full-time spot, so I have to tap into my savings. I can't move back in with my folks. And this place was cheap. Why not? Sean, I don't think. It's fine, Rocco. Cody takes a breath. I want to prove to them that I can be fine on my own. Dropping out after they did so much for me feels like I'm letting them down. Plus, I can just hear my dad say, going back next semester? You know. Cody mockingly deepens his voice. It gives off a cartoonish dad vibe, and I can't help but chuckle at it. Plus, I liked being independent while I was in college. Sure, dorm life is a lot different than this. But it's nice not having parents breathing down your neck. Amen to that. I want to dig more, but I doubt that's a good idea here. I hold back any more questions as Arthur comes out from the bathroom, shaking his paws dry. His eyes are a little wide and hang on Cody for a bit too long. He gives his head a shake and is back to normal. Hey, what did I miss? Nothing much. Planning on heading out soon if that's good with you. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, one thing. Cody, can I crash here tonight? I guess I did forget to text my parents about that. Yeah, sure. I have an extra bed you can sleep on. Sick! With that, we get up and leave. It takes a minute to shuffle everything around in the car. Rocco has to sit up front because of how big he is. Cody and Arthur sit in the back, having their own conversation. So, what are your plans for the week? I don't know. Catching up with my folks, then figuring it out from there. You really don't think ahead for the next thing, do you? Figured by now you'd at least think about the day after tomorrow. My face scrunches at those words. I think ahead. There just isn't much around Carthage. Sure, we could go for a trip to another town, loiter around Main Street, or go for a hike. Those were things we always did to pass the time. Though, maybe not that second one now. It's not like there's much to Carthage. Our new town feature is probably closed off to the public. You'd think. I haven't seen any active cops around it. They just leave old cars and stuff to scare off people. How often are you around the sinkhole? Like you said, we've basically done everything around town. I was curious, so I snooped around it one day. Sue me. Plus, I have to walk to work every now and then. I go right by it. I guess that answered that. Arthur is currently gushing about the band he showed me before we arrived. I take glances at the two of them back there through the rearview mirror. Cody, tired as he looks, is keeping up with the conversation. It looked like the return of some normalcy helped lighten his mood. Though I did wonder. Rocco, why do you have a key to Cody's apartment? We're not fuck buddies, if you're wondering. He gave me a spare in case I got off before him. I snicker at the phrasing, and Rocco places a paw to his face. You know what I mean. Look, I would get off work and sometimes he wouldn't be there. So instead of waiting outside, he gave me a key so I could come inside. It's not that hard of a concept, Sean. I feel like you're doing it on purpose. I tease, speaking in a goofier voice than normal. I looked over at him and the poor dog's flustered. He refuses to look at me, and I can tell he doesn't want to continue with this. I take a breath to stifle any remaining laughter. Look, It's nice how close both of you have gotten, platonically. Life's been lonely without you and Arthur. Everyone's moving on with their lives. I feel like I'm stuck in a loop. He pauses, considering his next words. Probably because of my teasing. Parents are still assholes. At this point, everyone from high school has moved out of town. Those who are left usually fuck off to Salem when they can. If they can't, then they drink away their paycheck at Morris's. What about Belle? Rocco lets out a groan. Belle was an old ex of his, but a friend of Arthur. All I heard was rumors, but apparently their first night together didn't go well. They broke up after that, and Rocco started hanging out with us instead of the football team. From what Arthur told me, Belle hadn't been at school the week after the breakup. Yeah, she's still here. Goes over to Salem to work in a department store. Wasn't she gonna major in chemistry? Yeah. His voice is somber. She, didn't get high enough on the SAT. Couldn't get enough scholarships, and didn't want to take out a loan. Same stitch as me. Oh, dang. Anyone I would know still around? Sean, aside from the people in the car, I don't know who you fucking know. Ty and Xander work at the auto body shop on Pine. Carl still sells weed out of his hippie van. Wait, Carl sells weed? Oh shit, Carl's still selling weed. That seems to have brought back the mood. Yeah, he actually gets a shit ton of traffic. Hikers trekking along the mountains, folks from Salem and Toast, and he's basically got a monopoly on those who smoke here. Well, he would if he wasn't a dumbass. Arthur tilted his head, confused. He does camping nights. From what I've heard, he has people test out new strands he's been growing. Invited me a few times, but I never went. Arthur lets out a teasing boo. Cody just chuckles and they return to their previous conversation. Oh, and Hank's working as janitor at the hotel. Yeah, I think you mentioned him back at Cody's. He's alright. We've hung out a bit, but he mostly keeps to himself. After a few minutes, I pull off to the side of the road. I park the car at the overlook we usually stop at. Behind it is the short hike up to our makeshift campsite. With how many times we hung out here, the path is basically muscle memory. The campsite itself was more overgrown than I remembered. Lichen and moss wrap around the old log we use as a bench. A rock circle from the fire pit was missing some stones. It looked like some wildfire had taken over the small hut Rocco made to store firewood. Oh, wildlife, not wildfire. The old stump we used as a table had rotten even more. A small pile of branches rested next to the pit. Rocco went over and began digging through it, pulling out pieces of kindling and a matchbox. Arthur began building the fire. His teepee fell in on itself a few times before he finally got the structure to stand. I sat the folding chairs down, setting them up on the other side of the fire pit. Cody put a blanket on and the s'more material down on the stump. A wave of nostalgia washed over me. He's down. This was our paradise away from the world. The nights when Casey and I came here by ourselves were my favorite. We would come out to do, as Rocco put it, our gay little things. I smiled at the thought. Sure, all we did was kiss, cuddle, and chat. It was nice to just have time for us. Far away from the ever-judgmental world. The last time we were here, he brought a telescope out. Casey had got it for his birthday that year. Astronomy was his hyperfixation at the time. All he read that year was books on the stars and constellations. One of the ones that he told me about was The Night Dancers. It was a pair of rabbits locked in an eternal dance. Every culture on Earth had some version of them. However, the gender of the dancers changed from place to place. Some thought the left was a male and the right a female, opposite for others. Some cultures even depicted them as both as intersex. I never saw them as rabbits, though. I always thought it was a dog and a fox dancing in the night, away from the other constellations where they could always be themselves. I looked up to see if they were out dancing tonight. I could only find the dancer on the right. A gentle paw rested itself on my shoulder. It was Cody's. He didn't say anything. Arthur and Rocco had begun roasting their marshmallows, chatting about something. I wiped tears from my face. I hadn't cried this much since... I guess after holding it in for so long, the dam was bound to break. I think this was as far as we made it when we read it together that one night. But I think the rest is going to be new. I rejoined the group, enjoying a s'more of my own. After some light conversation and another s'more, I decided to get up and take a walk around the area. I had some energy to burn from the car ride. Sitting for so long really makes hiking through a dark forest appealing. Maybe I should invite someone to come with me. Oh, it's a choice. Let's leave it as a cliffhanger for next time. Who do I go for a walk with? Yeah. It's fun so far. I like the little animations of the sprites and stuff. They're very cute. But yeah. I don't know how long it is, so I guess we'll see how long this takes to get through. But new VN to read. Yay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Bye.